Welcome to Thriver TV, the place to break free from narcissistic abuse with quantum tools and understandings. I know it's really normal to believe that recovery from narcissistic abuse is going to take you a really long time. People will tell you that. People report this all of the time. And the reason they do is because of the trauma from narcissistic abuse. If it remains inside us, then it takes a long time to move past the insidious effects of it, and that's if we can at all. But there is a better way to do this journey of recovery, a faster, more direct way that works. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. It's the way I recovered and thrived from symptoms and life events that seemed unhealable. And it's also the Thriver way that so many people, thousands in this community, have successfully used as well. It's about mind and heart perspectives. It's about truths that set you free. And these truths are everything. Okay, so before we get started, thank you everyone who subscribed to my channel and for supporting the Thriver mission. And if you haven't yet subscribed, I want to remind you to please do. And if you like this video, please make sure that you hit the like button. Now, to get started, I want to share with you the understanding of trauma and what it really means, along with how, when we switch to a quantum understanding of it, to be in the driver's seat to heal for real. So let's have a look at the trauma of abuse and what it really is. The trauma from abuse is horrific, and the trauma from narcissistic abuse is arguably the worst of the worst. It feels like a terrible black ink permeating your mind and emotions, which literally eats our soul alive. When this horrifying trauma strikes, people are shocked that they can't just get up and get on with it like they possibly could do in the past. So what is the trauma really about? It's about every inner survival fear and insecurity that any particular human can carry being fully activated, separating us from our true self and our true life. And the more power we hand away to false selves, narcissists, rather than partnering directly with our inner being and all of life in quantum connected ways, the more we feel separated and cut off. We feel controlled by the narcissist, and everything we do is at the whim of what the false source is or isn't doing. These people don't provide us wholeness, solidness, and safety. Instead, they bring to consciousness every unconscious, fearful, limited, and generational past life and human collective wound that has been unmet and unhealed within our subconscious programs and psyches. As human beings, these have all been a part of our human experience. And it is these inner parts that they hook us in with, terrorize us with, and keep ripping us to shreds with. These are the exact reasons why we stay enmeshed and addicted to narcissists. And it's why we're unable to let go, create healthy boundaries, and render these people incapable of continuing to hurt us. Here is the thing. When we don't understand the truth that sets us free, then we're in for a long, hard road to recovery. And I really want to share with you this following truth. It's fundamental to you starting your recovery or restarting it in a way that will provide you a direct straight line out to the other side, to your emancipation from pain and then thriving. So please repeat this after me. This person in my life has found and is targeting and smashing the exact wounds that are holding me separated from my true and thriving life. If I stop making it about them and make it all about me, and turn inwards to fully own, claim, release, and heal from these wounds, then this person will have no power over me. Now feel that statement in your body. Feel it. It's the absolute cellular truth that your inner being knows it's the truth. And you can only align with this truth if you are prepared to get out of blame and shame, looking outwards and working through your ego, which adores keeping you separated from yourself. What we just said together is a coming home statement, which means you get into your body and you start working with the one entity that you can control, you. You open up to taking your life and your power back. Now let's move on to the next fundamental understanding of trauma that will set you free. The purpose of trauma. Okay, so to set the scene for this understanding, I really want you to know that Source Creation God wants for you exactly what you want for you. Additionally, your soul wants to set up all the conditions to help you align with being the actual being who can generate this in your life. The system of so within, so without means that your inner composition needs to have the corresponding belief systems to be able to experience what is desired as your real life experience. Subconscious programs are absolute. They generate with life the validity of the belief system to the letter without any preference or condition. So what this means is the things in our life that aren't working, including horrible abuse, must have a corresponding inner trauma connected to it. If we want to remain victimized, we don't want to accept this truth, which is totally understandable if, you know, we want to stay there. And I know that because I used to be there too. But what this means is that there is no way out of the agony of more victimization, powerlessness, and pain. And that is why I'm so passionate about us going quantum and finding a way to free us from the victimization, the pain, and the ongoing trauma in a way that does work. And this is done by knowing that the trauma that you are feeling, which the narcissist is smashing mercilessly, is the signal of the internal beliefs and fractures that are the barriers to your true self and your true life. And it's powerful beyond measure when we stop condemning the trauma and instead know that every emotional trigger felt is granting us our greatest emancipation opportunity. It's our key to freedom. We're being led up and out of what we are currently experiencing. But not only this, it's opening us to the ongoing possibility of emancipation from established patterns and further limits in our future. And I adore this next mantra, which I really want to share with you because it encapsulates perfectly what I've just been saying. So, repeat this after me. I bless and accept this trauma as divine and so meant to be. Because I know that it is going off in my body, letting me know exactly what to turn towards, load up and release, to emancipate and exalt my life way beyond the life I am being. Because of this trauma becoming consciously known, I can claim my true self and life. free from these wounds and limits. Okay, so breathe and feel this cellularly in your body. Your body knows it's true. If you open up, breathe, and allow this statement to soak through you. And I promise you, this is my credo. I adore and embrace all my triggers. I love them. I know their purpose. I know that my soul and all of creation is totally geared to flourishing me with my true self and my true life. And what this means is that anything that is not that will come up as dense, painful energy to release and live free from, so that I can make inner space to experience what I really want and who I really am. And I know it can seem really tough, but it's so important to bless this time and honor it, because truly, you're not just shedding months or years of trauma, you are releasing generational, childhood, past life, and collective traumas. And without this method, it would take you lifetimes to release all of these accumulated traumas, if you ever could. You're also releasing trauma for humanity itself. Every time you shift, you are freeing the collective from internal program wounds. So we're on divine assignments here, and I promise you that when you embrace it and bless it, you are on your way to fast-track recovery. Now I want to talk about why breakdowns are vital. So let's have a look at breakdowns leading to breakthroughs. If you were to build on an allotment on the site of an old broken down house, the most effective way to do this would be to demolish and rebuild. The same applies with the emotional traumas in our life. And of course, it's terrifying to let go of what you know and to allow the breakthrough process to happen through us. Yet I want you to know with all of my heart that nighttime in its darkness is the darkest just before daybreak. It's when we're in the worst possible breakdown, thinking that we cannot handle any more pain and darkness, that we are totally on the cusp of the breakthrough, if we let the breakdown energy of the old go. And as humans, this has been our biggest struggle, to recognize the divine order that is always generating well-being if we get ourselves out of the way. And we can miss these breakthrough opportunities. We freeze and hang on to the horrific, inwardly triggered trauma, create defenses around it, and even fight to righteously reinforce it in our lives. And we have all the reasons why we should hang on to the trauma. And this is akin to being taken down a rapid river and not going with the ecological flow, but trying to stop the process only to get smashed disastrously against the rocks. Triggered trauma is your breakdown. It's telling you this is not your true self and your true life. And if you meet this trauma, feel the energy of it in your body, and then release it, accepting your breakthrough, then you fill with where that trauma once was with source. And this is the shift in quantum freedom healing and the main quantum healing component in NARP. The breakthrough happens within your inner universe before it happens without, which is in your outer universe. And this means that your emotions regarding the trauma must first shift before the situation in your life can. How do we know that we have successfully midwifed a breakdown to the beginning of our breakthrough? We know because the feelings of the negative emotions, the victimization and the powerlessness are gone and replaced with feelings of peace and inner calm. You may even sense that everything is in perfect order, no matter what it looks like. And people may think it's magical thinking that a shift on the inside will change your life and how narcissists react to you. But to think like this truly is not realizing the grand ramifications of the shift that you have achieved inwardly. When you become different, your life becomes different. And this has nothing to do with what other people are or aren't doing, because what has changed is how you respond to them as a different being. As the quantum creator of your life, you're always generating your life to the letter as per your beliefs, choices, and actions, whether unconsciously or consciously. Narcissists in our life experience are giving us the evidence in hardcore brutality of what we must clean up. So when you shift to inner calm, which means you become a beingness without that trauma, and make this inner calm your highest priority, you will discover your emotional triggers become significantly reduced or even non-existent. So you stop being derailed by your wounds. You cease to react in ways that hand the narcissist the narcissistic supply that incites them to keep wanting to abuse you for more narcissistic supply. By cutting off narcissistic supply and building your own inner integrity and power, you take back your power. And then you discover that you have aligned with all of the field on that topic that you were previously struggling with. And all of a sudden, solutions and support show up where there was none. The right ideas, inspirations, people, synchronicities, information and events will come into your life experience to support you and to add to your wholeness and freedom, because you are being that being on the inside. When you live this way of life consciously, you know these are opportunities not to be missed when you're having your breakdowns to get to your breakthroughs. And it's beyond powerful. Okay, let's anchor into the quantum truth by repeating the following mantra together. I know that when I am in my darkest, most painful times, if I pledge to meet it and release it, and bring in my light to replace it, that I will powerfully and quickly transform to a new self. Generating the life that I was always meant to live. And so it is. Amen. Okay, so now after feeling that statement in your body, I would love you to pause this video and tell me in the comments below how this feels for you. Does it feel congruent in your body? Or are you still having some doubts and questions still? Which of course is perfectly normal and okay. All right, so let's have a look at the way to thrive a recovery. The three perspectives and understandings I've just shared with you, in my opinion, are the biggest and most impactful. They change everything about recovery. And it doesn't mean that the road to recovery is always a straight line and it's always easy. Absolutely, it's inner self-work. It takes effort and full loving self-commitment. But the results of doing so are not just amazing, they are life-giving. They promise, hold, and then deliver the only life that was ever going to truly gratify us. A life of living free of our limiting beliefs and wounds. And I feel so blessed every day that I have the best, most gratifying and glorious job helping people achieve a way of life which narcissists have forced us to find so that we can save our souls. Furthermore, I personally live this life every day as a complete quantum lifestyle. It's the only life I've ever found that really works, and it continues to bring me so much joy every day, so much that my heart can barely hold it all. And I want that for all of us. So those of you already NARPing, if you require assistance to get your Thrive recovery going, please come into the private NARP members forum, because there you have unlimited free lifetime support from the best quantum abuse recovery specialists in the world. And for those of you ready to start NARPing because you want this true life too, please check out the complete program now by clicking the link that appears at the top right of the video. Okay, so I so hope this video has helped, and if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe so that you'll be notified as soon as each new one is released. And if you liked this, click like. Also, please share with your communities so that we can help people awaken to these truths. And as always, I'm greatly looking forward to answering your comments and your questions below. So until next time, keep smiling, keep healing, and keep thriving, because there's nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.